just perseverance and keeping focused on why you started in the first place is so important. So shooting was something that I never expected to fall into. You don't get into shooting to make it your full-time job or necessarily have even a career from it. For me, it was when I was 10 years old. My granddad used to shoot, and I decided to go along with him one weekend just as a bit of fun, because I was really intrigued with the idea of shooting shotguns, and I simply just didn't know what it was. So I went along with him one weekend, and just the moment I hit my first clay, I just had such an adrenaline rush. And that for me was like, you know what, I just want to spend some more time with him, see how far this will take me. And we started traveling the country, entering competitions, and he was just my number one fan, honestly. He just pushed me to just do every competition I could and just enjoy myself. And honestly, it was the highlight of my week, just spending time with him. And before I knew it, I was, like I said, traveling up and down the country, and ended up being scouted for the Great Britain team at the age of 14. And they said, would you like to go to World Cup? And I was like, well, where is it? They said Acapulco, Mexico. And I was like, right, you've got me there. I'm in. I want to start traveling the world doing this. It sounds amazing. So that's where my journey started. Honestly, it's taken a lot of time to manage setbacks, and my journey hasn't come without its difficulties. For example, unfortunately, I caught COVID the night before I was meant to fly to the Tokyo Olympics. And for me, that was a moment where I was ready to give up. I wanted to quit the sport. I had no interest in even the word the Olympics, just really, really triggered me. And I got myself into a really bad mental space. But for me, it was the idea of setting the example and moving forward with it in my life. And I just knew that if I was ever going to do another Olympics, that I had to do things differently. I had to really focus on what was the most important things in my life. And for me, that was my family. And I really wanted to get married and have a baby and do all these important things in my life that I guess that I'd always been putting off or putting to the side, because I always was so focused on my career and getting to the Olympics. But when I had that change in my life where I was prioritizing the things that I really cared about, I realized that my mental health got better, and I started overcoming these problems a lot easier by working with the team around me and just feeling happier in myself, which allowed me to perform at that high level, and I think really see the success that I've had. I think the message I really like to share with my journey is I've been shooting now for 17 years, and I started when I was really young. I was really inexperienced and didn't really have much direction of where this career path might lead me. But I think the businesses can really take from these moments where you feel like you want to quit or give up, or you don't see a future in what you're doing. Just perseverance and keeping focused on why you started in the first place is so important. And that I look back at Tokyo and the experience of not going to the Olympics and almost like 4 years of work going down the drain. But then I look on the flip side, I think everything does happen for a reason. And I have now gone to Paris Olympics, won a silver medal, and it just made it so much sweeter because I did it on my terms, where I had my baby there, I had my husband, I had all the things that I truly cared about. So I think the message I really want to share with businesses is you might hit hurdles and it might be to the point where you feel like giving up, but perseverance is the most important thing, and being consistent and showing up every day will lead to good things. So I like to teach audiences about high performance in sort of the terms of like the amount of commitment that it takes to, well, in my personal experience, the amount of commitment that it truly takes to reach that highest level. Like, it really is a marathon. Like, it's not success doesn't come overnight. It is one of those things that is built little by little. But in high sports, like now, when I was at the start of my career, I would see these massive jumps. I would see massive leaps in terms of my progress, in success. but then I would never get the consistency of keeping that level. Whereas now, being at the height of my career, being on the top form and working on that world-class stage, the margins are so fine. Like, we are talking about just little tweaks here and there which really do make the difference, and you don't see these big leaps like we did in the start, but it doesn't mean that we're making progress. So I would love to share that with businesses. I really hope that people can connect with me, that I am not like a footballer. I am not like a professional rugby player, that I got into this sport just purely because I loved it. And I really hope that my story can resonate with the listeners in these businesses, because I think my journey has been one with like many ups and downs of overcoming problems, stereotypes. There's been so many challenges in my career, but actually being at the flip side now, where I've won the silver medal at the Olympics, I would just love to share the details and how I really made all these bits and pieces come together to create this final result, and hopefully just inspire people to, in whatever they're doing in their careers or their journey, that perseverance and just determination will get you to where you want to go.